Words cannot describe just how far Tapu Bulu has fallen, but this script is 4 pages, so maybe they can. Tapu Bulu began life as the weakest of the Alolan Guardian deities, but it was still respectable. Its immediate power and ability to one-shot so many Pokemon with Woodhammer let it have niches in the first 2 years of its competitive Pokemon career, but it seems that every year since then it's fallen deeper and deeper into obscurity. So today, let's talk about the legendary Pokemon that just can't catch a break. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video at any point in time, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. As a matter of fact, you should really just subscribe right now because I have a playlist full of content just like this that you can watch once this video ends. And if you think you're subscribed, do me a favor and double check because a lot of my viewers actually aren't. With that, let's get into the video. But not before I plug my YouTube channel memberships. If you click the join button, not only do you get access to bonus videos every week and access to my podcast with Jody Azzarelli, but you also can join my members only Discord where we team build and discuss Pokemon broadly. You also get a badge by your name in the comments and in my live streams, and you get to see your name at the end of these videos. Lots of cool perks there, so consider supporting me with the channel membership. Now back to the video. What made me want to make this video? Well, first of all, if you haven't realized it yet, I have an affinity for low-tier legendary grass Pokemon, not naming anyone though. Tapu Bulu was the Pokemon that really kicked that off for me. In Generation 7, Tapu Bulu was the least splashable of the Tapus, but it was still a very powerful physical attacker. I mean, its stats are just incredible. 70 HP, 130 attack, 115 defense, 85 special attack, 95 special defense, and 75 speed. For reference, Tapu Bulu's Woodhammer is as strong of a move as Urshifu's Wicked Blow in Generation 8, since with the crit, Wicked Blow is a 120 base power move. However, Tapu Bulu has grassy terrain on top of this, boosting the power of this move by 50% in Generation 7. With all these multipliers, Tapu Bulu's Woodhammer is a whopping 270 power attack. Coming off that 130 attack stat means that there's not really any Pokemon in the game that enjoys taking the hit. On top of this nuke of a move, Tapu Bulu has access to the move Horn Leech, which heals it for 50% of the damage it deals to the opponent, making Tapu Bulu not only a powerful offensive threat, but one with pretty decent sustainability since it gets that on top of the passive healing from grassy terrain each turn. Slap an Assault Vest on this guy and he's gonna be a pain to deal with. Tapu Bulu had a number of sets back in Generation 7, ranging from Bulk Up Leftovers, to Choice Scarf, to Choice Band, and even Assault Vest. What Tapu Bulu was really lacking back then though, was moves. Don't get me wrong, it had Woodhammer, Horn Leech, and Nature's Madness on most of its movesets, but the only real coverage it had was Rock Slide, Zen Headbutt, and Superpower. Beyond that, you can't really ask too much more from it. Yes, Bulu has options into fire types with rock moves, yes, it can hit steel types with Superpower, yes, Zen Headbutt can hit poison types so it can avoid getting one shot since it's got a 4 times weakness to them, but when its moveset requires at least 2 of its usual moves and probably Protect, you only get to really slap on one of these tech moves. Unless Pokemon get one-shot by this move though, yeah, things won't end well for Bulu. Matter of fact, you're probably better off just clicking Woodhammer more often than not. While Tapu Bulu was fairly strong in the 2017 season because of its ability to one-shot literally every other Tapu while overriding their terrains, its best season was definitely 2018. In 2018, Tapu Bulu was able to find its stride on a team next to Kommo-o and Mega Gengar. This trio of Pokemon were able to cover for each other's weaknesses effectively enough to make it a pretty popular archetype. Kommo-o had a signature Z move in this generation called Clangorous Soul Blaze, which would give it +1 in every stat while blasting both opponents with a powerful Dragon-type attack. Tapu Bulu was essential on this team to grant Kommo-o passive recovery while being able to remove Misty Terrain, which would cause Kommo-o's Dragon moves to be halved in power. Then Tapu Bulu would threaten to one-shot the opposing Tapu Fini with Woodhammer, since Fini also has a pin on Kommo-o with Moonblast. Mega Gengar was not only another check for fairy types, but it would also trap in the Pokemon, making it trivial to remove them from the board. Despite this being the most common team to see Tapu Bulu in, the 2 Tapu Bulus that had made it to top 8 and finals of the 2018 World Championships were on totally different teams. However, both of these teams had Choice Scarfs on their Tapu Bulus, since that ability to attack first would be what put Tapu Bulu over the top, something that would come back to bite it in Generation 8. With the release of Generation 8's Pokemon Sword and Shield, we had Pokemon removed from the games for the first time. On release, Tapu Bulu wasn't in the games. However, the starter Pokemon Rillaboom was. Rillaboom would be given the hidden ability of Grassy Surge, meaning it too would set up grassy terrain on switch-in. Only Rillaboom just had a few more things going for it. Rillaboom not only had access to the combination of Woodhammer with Grassy Surge, but it also had access to Fake Out to flinch on lead, Knock Off to remove items, and U-turn to pivot and reset its terrain. Things would only get worse for Tapu Bulu with the release of the Isle of Armor DLC, where Rillaboom would gain access to its most infamous tool. Grassy Glide was a tutor move in the Isle of Armor DLC, which had a base power of just 70. However, when Grassy Terrain is active, it also becomes a priority move. Normally, priority moves don't get this strong, at least not without some kind of drawback. In the case of Sucker Punch, it only works if the opponent is attacking on that turn. With Extreme Speed, the major drawback is that it's not capable of being super effective since it's a normal type attack. And with Grassy Glide, the drawback is that terrain has to be active for it to become a priority move. But since Rillaboom automatically sets up the terrain, this is basically not a factor in most games. Rillaboom quickly rose through the ranks of Sword and Shield VGC in the absence of Tapu Bulu and became a top 3 Pokemon in the game, appearing on virtually every team alongside Urshifu and Incineroar. Tapu Bulu would return in the Crown Tundra DLC, with many players speculating on just how powerful it would be, since it does have a slight attack and bulk advantage over Rillaboom. People believed from Pokemon Home data mines that Tapu Bulu would gain Grassy Glide and Play Rough in the DLC, 2 moves which, when combined with Bulk Up or Swords Dance, would result in Tapu Bulu being quite a difficult Pokemon to switch in on. But when the DLC dropped, Tapu Bulu returned with the shiny brand new move of Close Combat. Yeah, Play Rough and Grassy Glide were nowhere in its moveset, despite the fact that the Pokemon Home data mines told the players that it would learn it. With Tapu Bulu missing out not only on Grassy Glide, but also having no physical fairy move in its learn set, Rillaboom cemented itself as the top grass type in the game and the top Grassy Surge Pokemon. Out of 2. Really, the only advantage Tapu Bulu has over Rillaboom is slightly better coverage options in Stone Edge and Zen Headbutt, but this isn't going to help it in any situation other than dealing with the likes of Charizard or Volcarona. Tapu Bulu became a mostly downgraded Rillaboom. It's difficult to even make the case that Tapu Bulu is slightly bulkier than Rillaboom, since physically they're basically identical when you check the calcs. And on the special side, the difference is marginal. This means that Rillaboom not only has the superior speed and moveset, but it's basically just as fat as Tapu Bulu. All that without the times 4 poison weakness that Tapu Bulu has to deal with, all just to not learn any physical fairy type attacks. In fact, the only thing that Tapu Bulu truly has over Rillaboom is the fact that Tapu Bulu walls both Urshifu forms. But even that just isn't enough. Just 1 generation later, Tapu Bulu fell into obscurity. And in Generation 9, Tapu Bulu didn't return, yet Rillaboom did, remaining one of the top dogs in competitive Pokemon, while Tapu Bulu was forced to remain in Sword and Shield, gaining no new tools from Generation 9 and having to wait until possibly Generation 10 to see any buffs coming its way. In my opinion, Tapu Bulu needs to separate itself from Rillaboom. They shouldn't be competing for the same role, since Rillaboom will always do better than it. Obviously, Tapu Bulu needs to learn Grassy Glide, that's a no-brainer. Even though it was nerfed to just 55 base power in Generation 9, it's an invaluable tool. Beyond that, it needs to not only learn Play Rough for the damage output and access to Fairy Stab, but it should learn Spirit Break. This attack is much weaker than Play Rough, but its ability to lower the target's special attack stat would make Assault Vest Tapu Bulu very difficult to break. And please, for the love of everything good, give it U-turn. It needs to have that ability to pivot in and out to maintain its terrain. But we're going to have to wait and see if these buffs ever come about. What do you think about the tragedy of Tapu Bulu? What buffs would you give it, and do you want it to return in Generation 10? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. If you want to support me further, you can check out my Patreon page or become a YouTube channel member by clicking the join button below the video. This gets you sneak peeks at future videos, bonus content, and access to my supporter-only Discord server where you can hang out and team build with other community members. You also see your name at the end of all my videos like all these lovely people. Special thanks to my most boosted supporters, Ant Media UK, Avatar67, and Kayla Thompson for their generous pledges. Another way to support me is to check out all these videos in the playlist on screen right now. I know you'll find something in there that you'll enjoy. I also have a second channel where I talk about the current VGC metagame trends, and a Twitch channel where I stream, both of which are in the description. Or you can tune into my YouTube streams Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. CST. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.